Hi friends, we're going to do part of our math together today. Please make sure that you get the packet that says Lesson 5 Application Problem. We took it out of your blue math book and we kept your blue math book at school. So you should be able to find this packet in your yellow folder, unless you didn't bring your math book to school on Monday or Tuesday, in which case you're going to have to hunt for these pages in your blue math book. They are pages 207 through 213. So if you need to go hunt for pages, pause the video. Or if you need to go get your packet, pause the video. But these pages are in your yellow packet, yellow folder. They're in your yellow folder. And they're stapled together just like Mrs. Borrello's pages are stapled together. All right, let's do this, shall we? Okay. We're going to take a look. The first thing we're going to do is why is it not shared? Hold on. Hold on, please. There we go. All right. So the first thing you're going to do is write your name at the top, because that's the first thing we always do. And when you turn this into Mrs. Borrello, she's going to want to know whose beautiful work this was. So you can write your name right here. That would be great. Just right at the top. Let's read our application problem. Are you ready? Awesome. Darnell and Tamra are comparing their grapes. Darnell's vine has 9 grapes. Tamra's vine has 6 grapes. How many more grapes does Darnell have than Tamra? We've done problems like this before. Do you remember doing problems like this before? I should remind you. I mean, I'm sure that you remember, but I just want to remind you that if this is too small on your screen, press the gray 4 corners. Maybe they're white. They look like this, and it will make it very large on your Chromebook. All right. We are going to draw a picture. We have 2 people. We have Darnell. Darnell starts with a D, and we have Tamra, and Tamra starts with a T. And they both have grapes, and grapes are circular, like a circle. So we're just going to draw circles. Darnell's vine has 9 grapes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Did you notice that I put a little space in between my 5 and my 4 so that I could show the 5 groups? That's so important. It will help you. Tamra's vine has 6 grapes. Let's draw them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's that little space. 6. Here's the question. How many more grapes does Darnell have than Tamra? So we need to know the difference. Let's compare how many that they each have, and then we can find out how many more Darnell has. Ready? They each have 1. They each have 2. They each have 3. They each have 4. They each have 5. They each have 6. They don't each have 7. Oh my goodness. So how many more does Darnell have than Tamra? That means how many does he have that we cannot match up? Let's count these grapes. Ready? 1, 2, 3. We could also solve this by saying 9 minus 6 equals, and what is 9 minus 6? If you said 3, you are absolutely correct. Okay, what do we need next? You know, we need an answer statement. That's why they ask us to write at the bottom, right? So the question is, how many more grapes does Darnell have than Tamra? And we need to say, Darnell has blank many more grapes than Tamra. How many more? Are you shouting 3 at me? All right, Darnell has 3 more grapes than Tamra. Don't forget to write this very neatly and include a capital letter and an end mark. Pause the video if you need some extra time. Okay, for the next part of our work today, you are actually going to need this page and you're going to need to cut out the shapes. So we are going to cut out the shapes that are on page 213. By cutting them out, then that will give us shapes that we can use when we are doing the assignment today. So I suggest you start by cutting the whole square out first. You're going to cut the whole square out first. I don't have the fancy editing equipment that Miss Sabrin has when she speeds everything up. So you'll have to watch me cut it out nice and slow. I hope that's okay. You can cut along with me. You can cut while I cut. If you cut everything out first, cut that square out first, that makes the rest of this a little bit easier. Then you just cut on the lines and do your very best to make nice straight cuts, because if you don't make nice straight cuts, this will be challenging for you to do this work today. Now remember, if moms and dads are trying to cut this out for you, stop! This is important. It's important that you know how to cut as a first grader. So if your mom and dad is trying to help you out and cut this out, you tell them, I must need to practice. So I need to do this myself. All right. It's very important that we know how to be independent. We have to do our work on our own. All right. Pause the video until all of your shapes are cut out like mine. You should have 2 large triangles, a medium-sized triangle, 2 small triangles, a square, and a rhombus. Pause the video, make sure that you have the same shapes that I have, and then hit play. All right, I'm going to neatly put all of my shapes into a pile and set them over here. I don't need them right now, but they are ready for me when I do need them. Now I'm going to get my packet and I'm going to go back to page 209, page 209. This is the beginning of our problem set. Our problem set starts off by asking us to write our name and the date. We're going to do the problem set together, and then you are going to work on the exit ticket on your own. And then you'll bring this whole packet to school so that you're ready to turn it in on Thursday or Friday. Number 1, A. How many shapes were used to make this large square? Well, let's count them. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 shapes in this large square. B. What are the names of the 3 types of shapes used to make this large square? What is a shape with 3 sides called? Do you remember? There are several of them. I see one here. This shape has 3 sides. This shape has 3 sides. This shape has 3 sides. What are these shapes called? Shapes with 3 sides and 3 corners. Do you know? Yes, they're called triangles. So write the word triangle. What other shapes do we have? Let's take a look. Let's look at shape number 4. What is shape number 4 called? 4 sides and they're 4 corners and they're all the same length. If you said a square, you are right. Write the word square. What about shape number 6? Do you know the name of shape number 6? 4 sides, 4 corners, but these are not square corners. They're different. 6 is called a rhombus. Pause the video if you need more time. All right, now we're going to need our shapes. Number 2 says use 2 of your tangram pieces. That's what these shapes are called, tangram pieces. Use 2 of them to make a square. Which 2 pieces did you use? Friends, do you know? Mrs. Borrello is going to use these 2 to make a square. And I remember Mrs. Borrello said, when I'm tracing shapes, I need to put my finger in the middle and I need to trace the outside of the shape first, right? Don't pick up your finger because then your shapes will move. And then I take one away and I draw a line where the shapes are connected, just like that. Then I can see which 2 shapes I used. I'm going to write I used 2 triangles. Number 3, use 4 of your tangram pieces to make a trapezoid. Draw or trace the pieces to show the shapes you used. What shapes will you use to make a trapezoid? You need to use 4 of them. Tricky, tricky. I will give you a minute to think about that. Pause the video if you need more time to finish number 3. Number 4, use all 7 tangram pieces to complete the puzzle. This is where you are going to try and place these pieces on the puzzle. After you place all of the pieces where they go, that one doesn't go there. I have to think about this a little bit. After you place them where they go, you're going to trace them. So make sure that you are tracing them, okay, friends? And so that you have the shapes. You need to make sure that you have, after you put them all down, that you have traced them neatly. That's very important. Mrs. Borrello is looking to see if you've traced the shapes. I'm going to be checking that. Okay, so think about where they're going to go and then trace the shapes. Here's your sneak peek, if you need a sneak peek about where they're going to go. Ooh. And then trace them. Okay, pause the video because you are going to definitely need more time to do that. And then hit play when you're ready. Number 5 says with a partner, make a bird or a flower using all of your pieces. Draw or trace to show the pieces used on the back of your paper. So you're going to do that on the back of this paper. You are either going to label it my bird or my flower. And you are going to use the shapes to make your own and then trace them neatly, okay? You pick which one. You can pick my bird or my flower, whichever one you're going to make with these shapes. You're going to do that right here and then trace them. Okay, here is the exit ticket. This is the one that you have to do on your own. So make sure that you're writing your name and the date. Use words or drawings to show how you can make a larger shape with 3 smaller shapes. Remember to use the names of the shapes in your example. So you're going to take 3 small shapes to make 1 larger shape and then write down the shapes that you use. I cannot wait to see the good work that you do. Make sure that you put this packet, the whole thing, Even your shapes. So you might want to take your shapes and put your shapes in a plastic bag. That would probably be good. And then put the whole thing into your yellow folder and your yellow folder into your backpack. It lives in your backpack. So this whole packet into your yellow folder into your backpack. I will see you when you come to school. Bye.